Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring team.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8th, come on.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Karl, joined in studio by Paul Mawate. Paul, we're at the final week of previews.
Yes. This is it. Let's get into the season. Let's get to Vegas. We're going to Vegas, aren't we?
Trying.
Yes.
The guys on the other end of the line sort of are the hamstrings for us here. Legal not happy to take these three with us. Of course, I'm talking about Nick Tedeschi. Teddy, welcome back, mate.
You won't even let me back into the country, let alone send me to Vegas.
Yeah, there's that too.
Just add that to the list of countries that Nick Tedeschi cannot get into.
And of course, we've got our great mate, Blake Ayshford, former Warrior, Tiger, Shark, possibly a few other teams. The Papamoa Bulldogs. How's it going, Blake?
It's good. Been busy just looking for Teddy's that episode where Teddy was talking about Nathan Cleary not being very good at the game we call rugby league. So I've just been archiving around the last couple of weeks, deep diving for it.
Like the Loch Ness Monster, Blake, it doesn't exist.
And finally, we've got Searle. Searle, welcome in. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good. I too was trying to troll through the archives because once I heard that statement come up the other week, geez, almost spat out my coffee. That hasn't aged well, but I'm sure we've all said things we regret. Myself, I know I've said more than a handful, so I'm happy to join you there, Teddy.
I think Teddy's worst regret is saying yes when I said, can I have a job?
Let's not go there. Right, it is going to be a little bit chaotic with five of us today. I'll try and keep the train on the track. We're going to go through divided opinion, the grid from today. We are, of course, should front foot this, fellas. We're recording a week in advance because next week there's just too much happening and
we've got to get to Vegas.
So this is Thursday, the 22nd of February. We're going to preview the last four teams that we've got left, the top four from last year. We're going to do some preseason betting. Then we're going to have a look at the two games in Vegas and do some betting around that too. So before we get into it, this is not the official divided opinion, but Blake, we recorded earlier this week and one of your picks had us, not us divided, but you're here and we're over here. Can you just run us through your thinking around the Eels in the top four this year, please?
I just like their team, to be honest. Though I know last year they had a lot of injuries with Dylan Brown and the likes, and if you're basing it off a trial match, well, Manly would have won the comp last year. So I just like their team. Look, if that's what you're divided about, wait till you hear today where I've got some of these teams. It'll really throw some people off. So I've got some good reasonings behind it, but each to their own, I usually do come up trumps in these, don't I? Can't remember.
And Teddy, can you just remind us how you feel about the Eels?
I think I have 9th or 10th, missing the 8s. Pretty average team, but you may have played with him, but I'm not a fan of Mitch Moses. I'm happy to take Mitch Moses on every day of the week.
I was looking for the Dally M market because I was about to have Mitchell Moses for Dally M this year.
Thumbs down again.
Thumbs down. Yeah, tough from Ted.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Teddy's put Mitchell Moses in the.
Oh, it's still going.
In the same sort of class as Nathan Cleary. Yeah, no, not a first grader.
Well, I'm on that wagon now, so I may as well slam it up and I'll lob right on a couple of them.
All right, let's get to this week's divided opinion, and I think I'm going to like this with four of you guys commenting on this. Searle, I'm going to start with you.
Uh-oh.
Did the Kiwis make the right choice appointing Stacey Jones as head coach over the great man Wayne Bennett.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 for me because I would like to have seen Stacey in the head coaching role. Just perhaps in a year's time, I would have loved to have seen Wayne kind of at the helm for maybe a year or two, playing that kind of mentor role. Stacey could shadow him and then take over from there. But yeah, at the same time, I've heard a lot of the players are really keen to play under Stacey as well. So the players voiced their opinion, and New Zealand Rugby League followed that. So yeah, he's the GOAT of the Warriors. And I'm happy to give him a crack.
Blake, with a 1 foot in the door of NZRL, anything you can add there?
No comment from Blake.
No, I like it in the sense that, and I haven't spoke to anyone. I just think that the longevity, we're looking at Stacey, like Wayne Bennett might have been a 1 or 2 year option, or maybe got us to a next World Cup. But with Stacey, I think you've got a longer period of time, and you're looking to keep him in the job. That's where I think it's important. You know, Wayne might have done the job the next couple of years, but how long was he lasting really?
And in general, or just in that job?
Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
Where did that come from?
Right. Sorry, Wayne. Teddy, what do you reckon?
Well, this has been kind of cast as Stacey was chosen over Wayne, but the rumor is that Wayne was asked to provide a CV, and I don't know that Wayne needs to provide a CV, so I'm not entirely sure Wayne went through the entire process. So I don't see how you could have passed up on Wayne. I love Stacey Jones. I think he'll be a great long-term coach, but I think if you get the opportunity to get Wayne Bennett and come in there and make some of the changes and set things up like he's done at the Dolphins, I think you don't pass up on that opportunity. So I think a missed opportunity not taking one.
And finally,
this is a long-term appointment for mine. So I guess they had to bite the bullet sooner or later. I would have loved to have seen Bennett in there for a year or two, but I understand the decision and how it was made. So I'm happy to see Stacey there, and I think they give him a good old go. Not just look at it short term. I think this is it. He should be there for the foreseeable future for mine.
I hope he lasts a little longer than the last long-term appointment in David Kibble.
Yeah.
Do you think? I'll open the floor up here. Do you think they've gone this way because of the recent success the Kiwis have had, and the sort of, we're not that little brother anymore? We've got depth, we're strong, we look, looks cohesive, look good. Do you think that's part of it, Searle?
Yeah, I think as well, like at the international level, like when you look at the caliber of players, they don't need to be coached so much. And I think Stacey's a really good player person, player motivator, has strong relationships with a lot of these players already. I think if you're bringing in Wayne, one of his best attributes is building something up from nothing. And yeah, 30-0, we're certainly not nothing. So I'm happy to see Stacey there.
All right. Any more words from anyone on Stacey Jones or Wayne Bennett? Good. Let's move on to the grid. If you're playing along at home, pause the pod, go and find Thursday, 22nd of Feb, do your grid, and come back and compare results. Across the top today, we've got Dave Taylor's teammate, played for the Penrith Panthers and 75-plus career tries. Down the left, has played for the Titans, played between 2010 and 2019, and has played for the Bunnies. Blake, I'm going to start with you. Top left, please. Has played for the Gold Coast Titans and was Dave Taylor's teammate.
Easy one for me. One of my schoolmates, Bo Champion, 1.52.
Oh,
very nice.
Name dropping already. Okay.
Oh, a lot of them are.
Teddy.
I did not go to school with this person, but he was a pretty fast winger. Kevin Gordon, 1.68.
Good. Searle.
Yeah, tough one for me. Did not go to school with this person. Ashley Harrison, 3.84.
Whitey.
I didn't go to school with any of these guys, and in fact, I didn't have any friends at school, so it didn't really matter. I've gone with Luke Bailey, 3.74.
I guess we're going to need Daily Messenger to pop up if we go with Pebble White he went to school with.
Yeah, I think the original trophy had me in behind.
That was the selfie beforehand. Greg Bird, 3.61. Next one, Blake has played for the Panthers, has played for the Titans.
Bryce Cartwright still playing. 7.74, so a bit up there, but Brycey Cartwright.
Teddy?
Little red-headed tackler, Luke Swain, 2.8.
That's a good get. I struggled with this one. Searle?
Yeah, I struggled too. I was also on the old Cardi party. Bryce Cartwright, 7.74.
Teddy? What's your name?
Wow.
I think I've three episodes in a row now.
Far out.
Paul?
I'll be honest, I just clicked on the thing and then I scrolled down a whole lot of names until I found one that I recognised. And it just happened to be Luke Swain at 2.80.
Are you doing this live, Paulie?
Almost. I've only just finished it.
It took him 3 hours. I mean, I was surprised this one went so high. But, James Roberts, 7.56. Played for more clubs than Blake, surprisingly.
Oh,
Gee.
Next one along, 75 plus career tries, has played for the Titans. Blake.
Has also played more games than me. Chris Walker, more clubs than me, 5.08. Chrissy Walker.
Teddy?
Got a bit lucky on this one. He turned out he had exactly 75 career tries. David Mead. 9.57.
Oh, I wouldn't have expected him to be that high.
No. I was very close to taking him, and I sort of stopped myself. I was like, I don't know if he scored that many tries.
I struggle with that one. I struggle to think of the Titans as one of the teams that just kind of fade into the memory, and I struggle to differentiate between the 2008 Titans and the 2018 Titans. All rubbish.
Searle?
I went with Jaden's dad, Preston Campbell, 8.98, so high score there.
Preston Campbell.
The hat trick.
Middle row here, first one. Dave Taylor's teammate has played between 2010 2019. Blake?
Just retired. Chris McQueen, 0.92.
Oh.
Lightning McQueen's brother. Teddy?
One of the most boring players to play in the NRL, but absolutely loved him. Jason Clark, 0.9.
Oh, nice. Searle?
Yeah, Luke Bailey, 1.14.
Oh, so I take Luke Bailey in the one above, square above. That's 3.74, and you get him for 1. I'm not happy about this. Sean Berrigan, 0.89.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Ben Hunt, 1.96.
Nice.
Next one. Has played for the Panthers, played between 2010 2019.
One of the hardest hitters to play the game, Nigel Plum, 0.68.
Great.
Oh.
You're a big advantage here.
Yeah, couple of cracked ribs. Always remember the name.
Who scares you more, him or Sivo?
Here we go.
Him, to be fair.
Teddy?
The first of the Jennings brothers I'll be using in this one, George Jennings, 0.36.
Oh.
Did I inspire you the other day?
You did. I've just been thinking brothers the entire time. Disappointed I didn't pull a few of the Walkers out. Now Blake's mentioned it too.
What was the number, sorry?
0.36.
That's
grand. Searle?
Yeah, I've got Jennings regret there. I went Tim Grant, 1.12.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good guess, and it's very high for that. That's
yeah. Paul?
This is a bit like Teddy's David Mead pick, where David scored 75 tries. Well, this guy, I didn't realise it, played only one game between 2010 and 2019. So he stuck in Paul Whatuera 0.49. He played one game for the Eels in 2011. That was it.
I've got Jamie Searle at 1.05.
Nice.
Next one, 75 plus career tries played 2010, 2019. Blake.
I got a brain for this one. 0.75. Benny Barber.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, jeez. Go the Dogs.
Teddy.
Yeah, also got a brain for this. Also had Ben Barber, 0.75.
Searle.
yep. Must not have got the group chat memo on this one. No brain, no Ben Barber, but got Luke Burt at 0.9.
Oh, that's a blast from the past.
Manu Vatuve 1.07.
I can't believe I've lost this. 1.15. Kyle Felt.
Oh,
Too recent.
Clearly, yeah. All right, bottom row. Dave Taylor, teammate, played for the Bunnies.
Another brain. 0.48. Lukey Capewell.
Oh, break it.
Big advantage here. Not happy about this. Teddy.
I've gone with Dave Tyrrell, 2.58.
That's good. Searle.
Eddie Pettyborn, 2.27.
People.
Oh,
Nice.
Roy Asatasi 2.66.
That's low for Roy.
Mm.
Low for Roy.
I don't really want to say mine. Nathan Merritt, 3.35. I'm come crashing down from the highs of a couple of days ago.
It's
Tell you
called regression to the mean.
It gets worse this next one too.
Yeah.
Penrith Panther, Rabbitoh.
Yeah, this is where I go up. Reese Wesser, 6.76.
Teddy.
Robert Bob Jennings, 4.04. Also failed to score a try for the Dolphins when a metre untouched. So what have ever been known for?
Searle.
Got a brain here. Stoked to say it. 1.69 Jed Cartwright.
Oh,
Wow.
great.
Awesome.
I'm with Black Reese Lightning.
I thought people would have forgotten that this guy played for Souths. I mean, I suppose he did win a grand final with them, but Uppy Cottersale. 10.47. I thought that would be a good get.
I'll put my wooden spoon away. Huge.
They've also they've given him 77 games for Manly between 2016 and 2019. That's an error, isn't it?
No?
No.
The crop.
He was a long-serving Manly player.
Oh
Yeah.
no, sorry. No,
Don't question the grid, mate. Don't question the grid.
They're always listening, mate.
Yeah.
Bug the studio. They're coming for you now.
Yep. NRL Matrix, it's got you.
I thought as Penrith. I thought it said as Penrith started in 16 and then Manly 16, but it's 15-16. I've got eye issues. I've had eye surgery recently. Leave me alone.
Follow the white rabbit.
Last one, 75 plus career tries. And it's played with the Bunnies, Blake.
I've got the Peach, David Peachy. Did most of his work with Cronulla, but finish off with the Bunnies.
What was that?
Did you
Sorry,
get a score for that, or-
3.74. 3.74.
Teddy.
Yeah, had no idea this one, so I went with the safe answer. Nathan Merritt, 5.68.
Searle.
Yeah, I'm also on the Nathan Merritt train. 5.68.
Dane Gagai 9.45.
Oh.
I had you were $1 to say Alex Johnson then, Paul, so outside of gets home.
Nigel Vangana, 4.55. So totals, Blake.
27.7.
Teddy.
28.4.
Searle.
33.4.
Paul.
36.8.
Oh, like.
He's gone from the top to the spoon.
42.7. That's tough.
Geez, that makes me happy. First episode of the year.
How good is winning NRL grid? It's probably it's the biggest thrill of the week. I'd rather win this than win 10 bets on the punt.
And Karl finishing last also helps.
Two runner-ups in a row. He's the Tom Melbourne of the NRL grid for the advantage line.
Tough, stupid game. Right. Let's move on to looking at the final four teams. We've got the Warriors, Storm, Broncos, and Panthers to have a look at. And I will get I said last episode that we won't do brackets, but if you give me the bracket, and then when we finish the previews, we'll do our full ladders for the punters and we will compare. So we will start with the Wars to make the 8 this year, $1.72, top 4, $3.60, boosted to $4.25. I pushed really hard to try and get $5. They weren't having a bar of it. To make the grand final, $8.50, and to win the grand final, 18s, Biggins, Kurt Capewell, Chanel Harris Tavita, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, outs, Josh Curran, Bailey Sirenen, Viliame Vailea, and Braden Viliame, who retired. Teddy, we'll keep it as we have. How do you feel about the Wars in 2024?
Yeah, look, I was very low on them last year. Couldn't have been more wrong. I kind of had backed the Bulldogs, got the better Panthers assistant, but as a Bulldogs fan, I can tell you I could not be more wrong on that one. You guys nabbed the better assistant there. Yeah, look, like the Warriors again this year, I think they've got a very, very good roster. They've recruited very well, got capable. The Warriors have been at their best when they've had, the hard-nosed Aussies there. Brent Tate, Steve Price, Blake Ayshford. I've always thrived then. But I think he's a very astute signing. I think he fits in really well with them there. And some insights at the Broncos say he does his best work on the training pad and kind of building up that hard working culture and stuff like that. So I think he sets them up really nicely there. I don't know where Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's gone missing for the last couple of years, but good to see him back from the wilderness.
It's two in a row.
He looked outstanding. He looked outstanding in the trial. I know you don't take much from trial form, but he just made everyone around him better. Like he's still got all the time in the world, and I think he's going to absolutely thrive at centre. Like I'm particularly happy to see him at centre at this stage of his career. So, the indicators, look, they probably overachieved a little last year. I've got them kind of a win short of where they probably should have been, and they had a very good run with injuries last year. They were third overall in kind of health last year. But saying that, they've got an easy draw this year. I got them in the top 8, probably regressing slightly. I just think it's really hard to jump from being a really bad team to a really good team. I think you kind of even out a little bit, but I've still got them well and truly in that, and I've got them 5th to 8th.
Blake, you've done a few podcasts with Ted in your time. Have you ever heard him talk so glowingly of the Warriors before?
I have not. No, it scares me a bit, to be honest. Because does this hurt their chances this year?
This is the new Nathan Cleary.
Or it could be the lift we need to get to the title.
What? How are you feeling about your former side this year, Blake?
I love it. I love everything I'm seeing from them. Been in there the last couple of weeks, a day here and day there, just the vibe in and amongst everything. It's just so good to be in and around the players, the staff. It's so open in there now. Origin time is big for them. They do get the Cowboys after Origin, Titans when no Tino and Fafita most probably, and the Broncos after Origin. So that's huge for the Warriors, massive plus. I look at their squad. Now, you talk about health. Even if they aren't, I'll say they are healthy, there's potentially 3 or 4 players that would fit in any other top 17 in the NRL that won't make this team. I think they're probably on paper in that top 4, and that's where I have them in that bracket, 1 to 4.
Searle, I saw something on Instagram just before we went live that the Warriors have never made the 8 the year following a loss in the prelim final.
Niche.
How do you feel about that?
I feel great. We're going to the Grandy this year, boys. Book your tickets now. Webby's formed the Mariana Trench. We've got the deepest roster in the NRL Ocean, and we're going to be all go, mate. What a team. Like 3 great additions, all international rep level footballers. it's been touched on the draw. We've got 13 games against bottom 8 teams, and 6 of those are against bottom 4 sides from last year. We travel a lot, but that's just part of being based in New Zealand. The lads get to go business class most of the time, so it's good for your air points as well. Yeah, I just love this. What we saw from Roger the other day gives us so much balance on our edges as well with our attack. We were so right side dominant. Now we've got threats on both sides of the paddock. Lukey Metcalf, I thought he's throwing that extra weight into his contact. His defense was strong on the weekend, and he looks like a future 7 for the club as well. So I just love what we're bringing through at the moment. We've got so much depth in that forward pack as well, with some young guns who look ready to rip in. So I legit think we are the only top 4 side from last year that got stronger on paper.
Paul, the Wires.
A couple of question marks. I guess who's going to fill the other centre spot?
I have my thoughts on this.
Other than RT, yeah. So RTS has got one centre spot wrapped up. It's who's going to fill the other one. Sean Johnson, can he stay healthy and continue that sort of vein of form that he showed last season? And Chance Nickel-Klokstad out for the first few rounds. Being able to get him back in, I know as a 2-0 picky will be in the number 1 jersey come round 1, I believe. So, but the sooner they can get Chance back, the better. He was one of their best last year in a team that had some very, very good players going around. I agree with Teddy. Their recruitment has been sensational. One of the best recruitment drives in the NRL with Kate Well. Harris DeVita coming back. We haven't mentioned him. He just adds another layer of depth to those halves that they've got. I agree. Luke Metcalf, I expect him to step up and show a wee bit more sort of, I guess, putting the opposition defences into 2 minds. Really like the way that he started to work into that position last year. The forward pack looks like one of the best going around this season. And the bench just looks so, there's depth almost everywhere on this team. And when you've got the likes of Dylan Walker and Jazz Tavanga coming off the bench, you've got a very, very good team on the field already. So I really, really like the chances of the Wires this year.
Goosebumps, guys. Had this conversation with someone the other day around SJ going sort of back to back on what he did last year. And my argument, I'll throw to you, Teddy, is that if you kind of look at it, he wasn't like he should have been Dalian Player of the Year, right?
Yes.
But he wasn't exactly playing out of his skin. He was behind a forward pack going forward, and one of the best forward packs in the comp. And it's probably gotten better. Like, as long as they're still going forward, he's still going to have time to sort of pull the strings and do what he does. My only concern is in the halves is if SJ breaks down, we kind of lack that extra, that general. We've got good halves, good attacking flair, but no one to sort of kick in behind and sort of no one that's stood up and done it anyway. Yours, please.
Yeah, well, for starters, I think Webster made Johnson's game very sustainable last year in terms of it wasn't the SJ of old where it was running and stepping and trying to break down a defence by himself. He played as much of a team game as I've ever seen him play. Having said that, I don't think he is any chance of being able to replicate what he did last year, but I also don't think he needs to. Like, I think if he plays at 75% of what he did last year, that'll be more than enough for this team. Like, I think, that you just don't want him to fall into a trench, you know what I mean? So I think they're fine with SJ. My big concern is you had a couple of career years, like DW said it, for the better part of a decade, had been pretty ordinary. And then had a sensational year last year. And whether players like that can sustain, Wade Egan's the same, whether they can kind of kick on, I think there's more chance they will be able to kind of replicate what they did last year. But whether they will or not is going to be a key to their success. But with SJ, I think the way his game changed last year, I don't think he can play at that level again. But I don't think he needs to. I don't think he needs to play at that level again for the Warriors. Like I said, everything was based off the pack. Johnson and Wade Egan both had career years last year, based off an incredible forward pack led by Fanua Blake. And Yeah, the other thing with Fanil Blake leaving, the Warriors are all in this year. Like, you know, you see teams kind of, we're building for a couple of years. The Warriors are all in this year. Like, it's you know, the phrase I often hear in New Zealand is it's our year. Well, it would want to be your year because I'm not sure the chance is going to be there in 2 or 3 years, no matter how good Hamlin Newell is. He's no Adam Fanil Blake.
We can revisit that comment in a couple of years, but
Let's timestamp that one.
yeah. Searle, before we move on, I know you're a massive fan of Capewell. He wins wherever he goes.
Yeah, exactly that. He's 70% career winner. Like Teddy touched on before, he's massive in terms of that training and just driving those leadership standards. You pair him with a Roger in amongst that leadership group coming in this year. Like, we've got so many calming voices when things aren't going well. I also like Capewell, how he gets his hands free. He's got that offloading game. I think he had more combined offloads last year than Marata and Jackson Ford had together. So he just gives us another threat on that edge. And anytime you can get a quality footballer like that and a player the Broncos players didn't want to lose, it's a massive get for the club.
All right. So we've all got them top 4. Teddy's got them top 8. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. Next one, the Melbourne Storm. To make the 8, $1.40. Top 4, $2.60. To make the grand final, $4.90. To make the grand final, $9. Another team with not a lot of turnover. Ins, they got Sean Bloor from the Tigers. Outs, Tom Eisenhuth, Jaden Nikorima, Justin Olam, probably the biggest out. And one of my favorites, Tarek Sims, has gone to France. I'm going to start here. I did some digging last night. Do you know now, I should premise this, I'm not counting 2009, the year that they got punted from the comp, because they would have finished top 4 that year. But do you know the last time the Storm finished any lower than 6th on the ladder, Blake, Teddy, or Searle?
2003, maybe? 2004?
2002. 2002.
That Mark Murray's last year? I think Bellamy started 03, didn't he?
Yes. They have only missed the 8 twice in their 24-year existence.
Was one of them an accounting error?
No, I said I'm not counting that because they would have finished top 4.
Okay.
They would have finished top 4.
Right.
They've only missed the top 4, I think, 3 times, including that year, since 2006.
Yeah, when they've never finished lower than 6th when they've made the 8. It's quite astounding what that club has done. We talked about it very briefly the other day. How good would it be to be a Storm fan? Well, very good after looking at those stats. But Teddy, what are your thoughts on Melbourne Storm this year?
Yeah, I love the Storm as per normal. It's a yearly thing. I think that traditionally, top 4 and top 8 bets are awesome. So I can't believe the price is being better about this year. Their season has swings on their health. Like the great Cameron Smith, Billy Slater, Cooper Cronk. Yeah, they went very top-heavy with their roster, filled in around them, but they never got hurt. The problem we're seeing with this current Storm is Pappenhausen's barely played a game over the last couple of years. We've seen Cameron Munster Hughes miss a few games as well. So I think on paper, their starting 13 is as good as any. Their spine is the best in the competition, better than Penrith to mine. Pappenhausen, Munster, Hughes, Harry Grant. It's what they do around that. But they had a bad year last year. They finished 3rd on the ladder. They won 16 games and made a prelim. But that's a bad year for the Storm. Like everyone was writing the Storm off after that. So I like the addition of Sean Bloor to the team. I think he's one of those guys that Craig Bellamy will get something out of that the Tigers couldn't get out of him. I like their middles. Christian Welsh, Nelson, Josh King, Tui Kamakamika. I think they're very good there. A few question marks on the outside backs. Remus Smith, whether he can kind of hold his spot there, and they had a bit of turnover. Nick Meaney's a very reliable player, and getting him in the centres, I think he's a good chance of playing a Tuivasa-Sheck role for them there. And he's not going to break down too many lines by himself, Nick Meaney, but he'll be backing up all the time. He'll run the right lines. He'll defend really well. So I've got the Storm going really, really well. They were really badly hurt by injury last year. I think if they're going to regress to even an average luck with injury, I think they're a top 4 team again.
Like I saw you scrunch your face up when Teddy compared Nick Meaney to Roger there.
The same breath. Nick Meaney and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I see them as different. Have that different ability in the centres. I guess only time will tell, Teddy.
I think Roger has a bit more talent than Nick, but I think they'll play a similar game in terms of playmaking centre rather than a Justin Olam smashing through the line centre.
Yeah, one's one a Dally M and the other one's last name starts with M. That's about all they have in common, to be fair.
Blake, what do you think of the Storm?
Like I said, I scrunched my face up about that. I actually have them outside the 8.
Oh, you've lost it.
Wow,
You're gone.
And it's based on, like I said, it's based on everyone's opinion. So my top 8, the Storm's draw, 14 of the 24 games are against my top 8 that I have selected. So they're playing some very good teams. They're lucky they play Penrith round 1, who will be coming back from England. I think they'll probably get that one. But look, I just think, like Teddy, you just mentioned it, the depth. One injury, they're going to miss games through Origin. All those stars will be in Origin.
Yep.
Then you've got
they've got a great run through Origin though. They've got
they do,
and they're at the Dolphins, so who'll also be missing a few players in Origin. So,
but Farlongo as well, who's on the bench. Like, how long do you keep him there? And Pappy at fullback, or like, is someone going to want to go? They're going to get itchy feet because that kid can start number 1 in majority of teams. So I don't know if they do a good job with blocking out the outside noise. I don't know. I'll be the minority here by saying that they are out of the 8 for myself. I've got them in the 9 to 12 bracket. So look, I might be the only person in New Zealand, maybe the only person that watches the NRL that has them outside the 8. But it's been said here. We'll revisit it and we'll see if I'm right or wrong.
I appreciate you putting yourself out like that, Blake. It's really, really big of you, mate.
Thanks,
Clearly. Storm.
Yeah, great to have Pappenhausen back. I think people forget just how good he was. Like, at his prime, he was pushing New South Wales and one of the best fullbacks in the comp. So that adds some massive strike to them. I thought at times last year they really missed that in their outsides. The thing for me is that forward pack. I thought last year they kind of got dominated through the middle against these top teams, and they haven't really added anyone apart from Bloor, who I agree is going to be a good footballer, but I don't know if he's a needle mover. So, yeah, I have them in that 5 to 8 at the moment. I just don't think they have the punch through the middle to go with the likes of the Warriors, Penrith, Bronx, the Chooks, those teams who have massive forward packs and are just going to roll through them.
Look, I don't know if Teddy said they've got one of the best or the best. I think they have the best spine in the competition. Obviously, injuries, potential injuries will affect that. But if not, if they stay healthy, I've got them back in the top 4. So from what I see on paper right now, I don't see them dropping out of the 4. They stay there for mine. Sean Bloor, don't be surprised to see him in Dally M Team of the Year. This has happened to a number of players, average players, and I don't think he's an average player. I think he's quite a handy player. He's got to force his way into the starting 13 first of all. But I think when he does that, he will find a spot for himself there. I can see that fella actually being one of the players of the season. Yeah, really looking forward to it. So outside of any of the spine getting injured, I see a rinse and repeat for the Storm.
One of my big watchers, and I thought he was going to have a massive year last year. He showed spurts of it, and Katoa, a year now under Bellamy. He who know the system. He's so good on attack. He's big. He's fast. He can break that line. I reckon he's primed for a huge year this year on the edge.
Yeah, I think Pat back helps him no end as well in terms of he'll attract attention kind of running out the back and stuff as well in support play. So I agree here. He came really good towards the back end of the year.
Yeah. All right. Next team, the Brisbane Broncos, to make the top 8, $1.11. Top 4, $1.57. To make the GF, $2.52. And to win the GF, $4 boosted to $4.75. Ins, Fletcher Baker, Jaden Hunt. Outs, Kurt Capewell, Herbie Farnworth, Thomas Flegler, Keenan Palacia, and Ethan Kai Ward. Teddy, Broncos, go.
Biggest lay of the year. absolutely lay them to your nosebleeds. Like they are. I cannot believe they are that close to Penrith in betting. Teams that lose grand finals rarely back up. They're really back up. And not since 2004, the only two teams who have lost grand finals to have been back the next year, Melbourne and Penrith. Like they're two dynasties of that time. They're two of the great. Yeah, this Penrith side is one of the greatest sides of all time, and Melbourne's sustained success has been incredible. So it's been incredibly rare that that's happened. They had everything go their way last year that could go right. They were the healthiest team in the competition. They had a good draw. They went 4-2 in close game. I think they're 2 full wins above their true win number. I think they were probably more close to a 16-win team than an 18-win team. They have then let go four very good players. Like Herbie Farnworth was the best centre in the comp last year by the length of a straight. Tom Flegler, who I was a bit sceptical on, really came on as a leader and an enforcer in that team. He was one of Brisbane's best in the grand final. And we've talked at length about Kurt Capel going to the Warriors. So they're missing all that. I don't rate Kevin Walters as a coach. I think shifting Searle and Cobbo to the centres, I have no idea why you would take a very good winger and put him in the centres. Like to me, in 2024, wing is a far more important position in the game than centre, and so they shouldn't be shifting him there. I don't like any of the signs I'm seeing from the Broncos. I've got them in the bottom half of the 8, but on talent alone. But they are a team I'll be against all year. That $4.50 for the premiership is insane when you can get a similar price on Penrith. It's an insane price. Lay them to your nose, please.
Blake, is your nose bleeding?
Oh, mate, I'm very similar to Teddy. Look, I had them out, then I had them in, I had them out, I had them in. The first 6 rounds are very tough. Roosters, Rabbits, Panthers, Storm, plus 2 local derbies, Queensland derbies. So, look, that's going to test them. Like Teddy said, the players on paper, it looks good enough for me to have them in the 8. But like I said, I'm not going to argue with you if you don't have them in the 8. I've got them in the 5 to the 8 bracket. And I think they do enough just to get in there. But, yeah, I can't argue if you don't have them in there. It will be a tough year. I don't think they go to a prelim or any of that. I think they're one and done in the semis, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I've got them in that 5 to 8 bracket as well. When you lose 4 of your starting 17 and you don't really recruit in any shape or form, then I think you're in a bit of trouble. Add to that, you're already wrestling outside Mayor, one of the great nightclubs in Brisbane, but yeah, not good early signs. How are you going to hold up in Vegas? I have no idea. So yeah, if they get an injury to like an Adam Reynolds or something like that, then they're in a world of trouble. So I have them in the 5 to 8.
And to a man who knows a lot about nightclubs, Paul, how do you feel about the Broncos?
Jeez. I've got them in the 4. I've got them staying there. I think there's enough residual talent for them to. I agree. They've got to get through that initial, I think, first 5-6 week period. If they can get through that, I think they can hold on into that top 4 spot. So yeah, I've got them top 4 still.
I've got them 5 to 8. Last one, the Panthers to make the top 8, $1.04. Top 4, $1.42. To make the grand final, $2.12, and to win the grand final, $3.75. Crichton and Leniu big outs. Couple of ins. Teddy, can the Panthers do what we haven't seen since the 1960s and win 4 straight premierships?
Yeah, they absolutely can. I think they will probably, you often see this with teams that finish top of the ladder. They were probably underrated. I've got them kind of a win short of where they should have finished. They've done such a good job with their young pathways out there, but they can just replace player after player. They've replaced Burton, Coruscant, Kicker. The ship just keeps rolling. I think the best thing to happen to them this year is Jerome Luai leaving. And I think that gives them a motivation. Like, as much as he's disliked on the outside, he is beloved by those Panthers players. And they're going to want to send him out a winner. I don't think there's any ill will about him leaving. They are class across the paddock. They're well coached. And they've got the most important kind of intangible there. They just know how to win. I don't think they've got an overly difficult draw. Yeah. Crichton's their biggest loss. They're probably their only genuine starter who's lost. Well, Taylor May, who was their top try scorer, comes into the side. So he's not a bad replacement to fill in there. The biggest thing pushing the Panthers, though, for me, is just there's no team jumping out of the pack. I think the Roosters, I've got the Roosters making the grand final, and they're probably the biggest emerging. I saw that in their panels behind where Penrith are at the moment. So I've got Penrith clear top of the ladder for mine. I think, best bet around them will be them to win the minor premiership. Whether they can make it 4 straight, it's difficult forecasting what goes on in September now, but they have a great final record. They barely concede a try. So, and they've got a halfback called Nathan Cleary, who's come from probably an average first grader to a guy who's won 3 premierships.
He's below average, and barely a first grader.
When someone finds it, I'll believe it. But yeah, I've got Penrith clearly in that top 1 to 4, and I probably increasing the gap on the rest of the competition this year.
$3.20 to win that minor premiership. Blake, are you having the Panthers?
No, I'm not. And it's just, like every mate, obviously, can they win it again? Yes, they can. After watching what Nathan Cleary did last year, I mean, that's probably one of the best grand final performances I've seen. I just think, I know I've said it the last couple of years, but it is so much football they're playing. They're playing so much football, especially with the international football now. You've got Origin. You've played to a grand final every single year. Most of the Origins, as already mentioned. I just think now you're going to England as well to add that on top. I think it'll be a slow start to the year. They might get done a couple of times as they're trying to find their feet. I still have them in the 8. They're in the 5 to 8 bracket for me. I don't have them in the 4. And look, they could easily go into the 4. I just think that, it might just be that wear and tear on the body for me with those key players. That's why I have them there.
Just when this podcast comes out, they would have actually played the club challenge. Can I get a prediction from you, Blake?
Oh, I think they do it over there. I think they're far superior than, like we mentioned, a lot of NRL teams, let alone I think the Super League teams they will handle well too.
Shots fired. Searle, what do you reckon about the Panthers?
Yeah, I think anytime you have Nathan Cleary and then the Kiwi Bash brothers in your lineup, you're going to be fine. So I have them, to be a top 2 side again. I just think as long as they've got that kind of key group of players, then they're going to be great. I actually have a mate who went over there 2 weeks ago and spent 3 days in the camp with Ivan and the boys. And he did the same with the Tigers, actually, with Benji. He's the New Zealand men's touch coach. And he just said that what the Panthers have going on, the environment, the culture, the way Ivan delivers messages, he said it was just second to none. So, I'll be backing them in again. I think they'll be a top 2 football side.
What did he say about the Tigers?
He said absolute shambles, put a line through them, and that there's like some weird kind of shrine to this guy who left for the Warriors. It was real weird.
Yeah. Oh, the curse of Ayshford. The Boston Red Sox used to have the curse of the Bambino. Well, the Tigers have got their own one.
Well, sorry, Paul. We've heard RTS and Meany, and now we've heard Ayshford and Babe Ruth together. Wild comparisons today.
Panthers, I agree with Teddy. They continue on their winning ways. They've got a factory there in Penrith that just continues to churn out top-class players to replace those that move on. And not just top-class players, but top-class players that are ready to play at first-grade level. So I've got them doing very, very well this season once again, and they are in my top 4.
So boring, but I'm the same. All right, let's do our ladders. We're going to start from the bottom up, and we're going to go the same order that we did the grid. Blake, give me your 17th place team.
Dragons. Got them on 1 win.
Oh, wow.
1 win. Holy.
You got some serious takes.
I tell you what, if you can get an over-under on 1.5 season wins for the Dragons, you'll get a price.
There is a rival bookmaker out there who's got them whether they'll win more games than the buy. The buy out there. So can they get to 3?
Teddy, you're 17th place.
Then I don't have them on 1 win, but the Raiders on 6 wins.
Searle?
I've got the Dragons on more than 1 win, but I've also got the Dragons.
Titans.
Ooh.
Oh.
I've got the Dragons. Blake, next one up.
Canberra Raiders are in 16th for me.
Teddy,
West Tigers.
Searle,
West Tigers.
You bastards.
West Tigers.
Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, nice, Karl.
15th, Blake.
I have the Newcastle Knights in 15th position.
Dragons for me.
I got the Raiders there.
Raiders.
Tigers. Hey, don't swear. No swearing. Make work for our producer. 14th, Blake.
I have the Gold Coast Titans in 14th.
Canterbury Bulldogs.
Searle,
Another one for the Dogs.
Dragons.
Dogs. Blake, 13th.
I have the Bulldogs in 13th position.
Gold Coast Titans.
Yep, Titans.
Eels.
Dogs.
12th, Blake. Sorry, what was it?
I have the mighty West Tigers in 12th position. A lot of wins this year.
Oh, that's a
Oh.
big turnaround. I've got texts from you that I can share with the group that they will make the 8. Well, probably 9th.
No, halfway through the year, they'll be in the 8.
Oh, okay.
Right off back in.
Teddy, 12th.
Newcastle Knights.
Yep, me and Teddy are similar. Someone's leaked the run sheet. I got the Knight.
Paul.
Cowboys.
I've got Titans. 11th, Blake.
I have Redcliffe Dolphins in 11th.
Manly Seagulls.
I have Parramatta.
Yeah.
Knights.
What position are we in? 11th.
11th.
Knights. Blake, 10th.
Cronulla Sharks.
Manly Seagulls.
Didn't you just do Manly?
Oh, sorry, North Queensland Cowboys. North Queensland Cowboys. Oh, sorry, I was rattled by the Sharks missing the 8 from Blake.
Yeah. I have the Finns here.
Parramatta Eels.
Dolphins for me. 9th, Blake.
Melbourne Storm.
I'll give you a chance. You can change it now if you want.
Mate, someone's got to be outrageous on here. Might as well be me.
Someone's going to be outrageous. I've compared Meany to 2 of us as Shaq. Paul's compared you to Pepper. I don't think we're short on outrage. 9th, Parramatta Eels.
I've got Manly.
Sharks.
Manly. Into the 8 now, Blake.
I have the North Queensland Cowboys.
Dolphins. Fins up.
Yeah, I got the Sharkies there just because their draw's so easy.
Different fin.
Hmm?
Dolphins.
Dolphins. I have the Cowboys. 7th.
I have the Brisbane Broncos in 7th.
New Zealand Warriors.
Oh,
Get out.
It was nice having Teddy on the show. We wish him all the
That's
best in his
disgusting.
future endeavours.
This is not the first time I've heard that from New Zealand.
I've got the Bunnies.
Manly.
Bunnies. 6th.
I have Manly in 6th.
Brisbane Broncos.
I have the Brisbane Broncos.
Roosters.
Brisbane Broncos. 5th.
The Penny Panthers in 5th.
South Sydney Rabbitohs.
I have the Cowboys.
Bunnies.
Sharks. 4th. Top 4.
The mighty Parramatta Eels in 4th position.
Sure, you don't want to swap Storm and Eels around.
I'm quite happy right there.
Okay.
The
Teddy?
Sydney Roosters.
I have the Storm, which controversially I said I had them 5th to 8th, but turns out I can't count. I have them in 4th.
Broncos.
Storm. Blake, your 3rd position.
The South Sydney Rabbitohs in 3rd.
Melbourne Storm.
I have the Roosters.
Storm.
Waz. Blake, number 2.
I've got the Wars in 2nd.
Cronulla Sharks, based on an incredibly easy draw.
I have the Warriors in 2nd.
Panthers.
Panthers. And your minor premiers, Blake.
Once again, I think for the 5th year running, I've gone with the Sydney Roosters.
You still hoping to get a run with them or something? Or?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm with you, Blake. I have burnt that much cash on the Sydney Roosters the last few years. Surely this is the... I've gone Penny Panthers.
Yeah, I've got the Panthers as well.
Wise.
Chooks.
Go, Paulie.
Go, Paul. I love that. Love that. All right. We're running out of time very fast. So we've got $100 to spend on some futures bets heading into the season. We'll look back at the end of the year, see how we're going. Paul's going to keep a sheet, see how we are doing throughout the year as well with other betting.
Please send your picks through to me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Blake, you've got $100 to spend. Futures betting. Where are you going?
So I've got 4 bets, $50 on the NRL Futures Builder with the tab. I've got Manly and Parramatta in the top 8 and the Roosters and the Warriors in the top 4. So I'm outlaying $50 at $41.38. It'll be a nice collect at the end of the year. I've got $10 on the grand final exacta, the Roosters and the Warriors, 91 to 1. 10 on that. I've got top try scorer, my mate Micah Sevo at $13. I've got $10 on that. And then with the last 30, I couldn't go past the boosted option of the Mighty Wars top 4, $4.25.
Very nice. Teddy.
Went a little bit more conservative here. I went for 3 bets. I've got 50 on the Sharks top 8 at $1.90. I've got 30 on the Panthers minor premiership. I think you said 320. And 20 on the Roosters to make the grand final, which is around a $4.50 mark.
Very nice. Searle.
I've got 3 bets as well. I've got 50 on the Warriors, Sharks, Storm, Cowboys, and Chooks top 8, paying $6. I've got 25 on that boosted option of Warriors top 4, and then 25 on the nose. Parades down Queen Street. Fire up your floats, everyone. The Warriors are going to win the grand final at $18.
Nice. Paul's doing his now, so I'll do mine.
Oh, I've got them right here.
Are you creating more just for fun, are you?
I just wanted to see what they were paying. Yeah, I've got mine written down here.
All right, you go then.
I've got Titans wooden spoon, $9.50. I've got 25 on that. I've got the Wars to win the minor premiership, 20 on at $18. I've got the Wars top 4 at $3.60, 35 on that. And then I'm just doing a little NRL multi-builder like Blake did. And all I'm doing is Manly top 8, Wars top 4, comes out at $9.
I liked it better when Paulie didn't back the Warriors, This makes me so nervous.
I'm scared too. Either that or I need to take my top off and give it to him.
Yeah, Marty Banks.
Keep it on. Keep it on.
Yeah, thanks, Marty.
Paulie didn't take the boosted option, just the 360. Fair enough.
Poor punting.
When I put this together, there was no boosted option. Oh, gee.
He runs a spreadsheet, remember? He can do it every once.
Right. Oh, yeah. What?
Warriors to make the 8, $57. That's the
It was a 1 hour special, guys. I promise. I've got 3 plays, 2 NRL futures multi-builders. First one, 50 on. Wars, Storm, Sharks to make the 8, and Roosters top 4. Comes out at $9.73. Second one, Bunnies, Cowboys, Sharks, top 8, Waz top 4. 20 on that comes out at 14s. And then 30 on the top non-New South Wales team. So the top non-New South Wales team, I've got 30 on the Warriors at $8.50. Broncos and Storm being the two big watchouts there. Good stuff. All right. Again, very quickly through the first round of a couple of games being played in Vegas. As we said at the top of the show, we are recording this a week in advance. There are no teams. There are only 2 options to bet from at the moment. But it doesn't stop us from talking about these games. First one, Manly v. the Bunnies. Manly are $2.13, the Bunnies $1.69. Bunnies are 2.5-point favourites. I've got a couple of stats that I'll throw out, and Teddy, you can probably back me up or even throw a few more because I know you love a stat. Bunnies have won 7 straight and 8 of the last 10 against Manly. They've been favourites in 8 of those last 10. The average total points in the last 10 is 46.9. The average winning margin for the Bunnies in those 7 wins, in those last 7 straight wins, 14.5. And that's it. Teddy, what do you think about this game?
What I think about this game is the field will be 6 metres shorter and 5 metres narrower. So I cannot wait for totals to open because it is going to be an unders fest. It is going to be an absolute unders fest. Like if the options were open now, I'd be having my $100 on the unders double because they're not going to put the totals low enough for this. But you think about the number of players combined with the usual clunking that you usually see in round 1. It's going to be an absolute unders fest. So, but alas, they're not out just yet. I think these 2 games are really, really hard to pick. We'll start with Manly and South, but it's very rare that you see a round 1 game on a neutral ground. Also, new ground playing in Vegas or overseas. So Manly have no Schuster, no Sipley. South without Graham, Munro, and Jack Whiten, who's suspended. They said South have won 7 straight. Manly have the key here might be Turbo. In the last 4 years, when he's played, they've won 60% of games. No Turbo, they've won 35% of games. But Manly have been very poor starters. They've only won 1 of their last 10 round 1 games, covered just 2 of them. So probably leaning towards South here, but not a huge amount of confidence. One stat that I do like, Cody Walker has absolutely carved Manly up in recent times. 6 tries in his last 4 games, a couple of doubles in there. So Cody Walker anytime for those same game multi-punts.
Very nice. Blake, how do you feel about Bunnies v Manly?
Well, Teddy already mentioned the outs. The big thing for me, I think it's underrated, is Toff Sipley being out. That's just his form last year, even leading into a bit of that trial, was pretty impressive. I think, as Teddy already mentioned, the field's a bit shorter, more narrow, so it's going to be a forward-dominated game. And that Bunnies forward pack, they have questions in the back line at the moment with no Campbell Graham and Whiten. But that forward pack, geez, that's looking strong. Epi's a good pickup from Manly. I just think South will win this through their forward pack. I know Cody Walker's racing the clock a bit with the calf, but I do think he'll play, and I just think their forward pack will win this game for them. So, yeah, I think they'll get it in a close one. They'll get over.
And how good was Kepi in the trial as well? He was unreal. I thought it was the best game I've seen him play.
Searle, you liking the Bunnies as well?
I don't know why, but I've got a feeling Manly might get up for this one. Never lost at Vegas. That's the most important stat for me. You can rattle off all the stats you want. Tom Trbojevic, also with his ballerina off-season, which I think is going to be massive for his health. So, yeah, I've liked what I've seen from them so far, especially in that first trial. I think no Schuster, but Ben Trbojevic is a more than adequate replacement there. I think Luke Brooks is going to go well in the 6 jersey. I think with Cherry Evans there, I just kind of trust them a little bit more than the Bunnies without Whiten and the other names we rattled off. And I think that they're paying good coin. Like, I don't think they deserve to be that far outsiders. So both games are really hard to pick because it's a bit of the unknown in every element, but I like the odds for Manly.
I'd argue, Paul, that Schuster being out is probably a good thing for Manly.
You can argue that. I'm sort of leaning towards the 2 outsiders here in Vegas. So I'm definitely going the Eagles in the first game, plus the 2.5. I think if it's a low-scoring game, as Teddy suggests, and I'd agree with him there, I think it's going to be fairly tight. In fact, I think both games are going to be fairly tight. So, yeah, I like the Sea Eagles, certainly plus the 2.5. I've got them making the eight. So, well, I've got both teams making the 8. So, but I do see the Sea Eagles. I just think they've got a wee bit extra and just a wee bit too much out for the bunnies for mine.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck in the middle here, but
We'll take the draw.
Leaning towards the bunnies. You can't have a draw in Vegas. There's no.
What do you mean? There's a green option on roulette.
Tried that one too many times. It's not happening. Okay, game 2. Chooks Broncos. Roosters are $2.45. Broncos are $1.53. The Broncos 4.5-point favorites. Roosters have won though 3 of the last 5 and 6 of the last 10 between these two. The average total in the last 10 is 45.1, and the average winning margin in the last 10 games by either team 21.9. That includes a 59-0 drubbing the Chooks gave the Broncos in 2020, and the favourites have won 7 of the last 10 between these two. Teddy, where are you sitting here?
Sorry, did you say Taverns were a 4.5 point? The one was 4.5 points. Or 4.5 points.
4.5 points. Broncos are 4.5-point favourites.
Yeah, that makes sense. Chips in Roosters. Yeah. Underdogs are 4 or more in round 1, cover it 61% of games. Generally, what that says is the market just misjudges teams. So I'll be all over the Roosters on that. They've lost Dominic Young, Jared Weir-Hargraves. Broncos look to be all clear, but Chooks have won 5 of the last 7 meetings. I am very keen on them. Like Blake said earlier, I think this will be 4 dominant game, and I think the depth of the Roosters pack is insane. Like at their best, players like Angus Crichton, Sia Wong, Egan Butcher could all be playing New South Wales Cup if everyone's fit and healthy. Like, that's an incredible side. So, and on that short field, the narrow field, I'm all over the Roosters. I cannot believe 4.5 spin. I must say, thanks very much.
Blake, your Roosters.
Yeah, well, look, I actually have them losing this first game. I just think that with that, a lot's on Lindsay Collins' shoulders. Spencer Liniu may probably start that game with no Jared Weir-Hargraves. I can't remember the last time he started a game. So, look, that's a bit of the unknown there for the Roosters. And apart from Terrell May, the rest of that, yes, it is a good pack, but they're more back rowers. I just think that the Broncos will have too much in this round 1 matchup over there. I think when Hargraves comes back, the Roosters have everyone back on deck. I think they'll be firing. But for this one and one game only, I'll be taking the Broncos over there.
Where are you leaning, Searle?
Yeah, I actually just went the Broncos as well, but in a tight one. So I do like that plus 4.5 for the Roosters in terms of the line, because I think that's massive. But yeah, Roosters, they've typically started quite slow, or it feels like, in my opinion anyway. The Broncos, they've probably got more players I don't trust in Vegas, but I'm hoping that Kevy Walters can lock them down. It's probably just the cheese that's my worry for the Chooks, but here's the potential to go nuclear and really blow the place up. So you got to factor that in too. Yeah, I'll be going the Broncos, but in a close game. I just think Walsh and co, there's too many threats early if they get an opportunity, and they'll love that kind of bright lights, big stage type of atmosphere.
I saw something on social media.
I'm looking for the Chiefs to bounce back after being rated 99th best looking player in the NRL. He's not happy about that. In fact,
overrated or underrated?
Well, he believes he's been underrated there. Yes. And he named a few players in front of him that he thought should have been on a different list. I agree with Teddy. I like the Roosters in this spot. I love the plus 4.5. So that's where I'm heading this, the Vegas weekend.
Forget the plus 4.5. That 245 is screaming at me. I am happy to take that. Happy to take it. And that is a great segue, Karl. Thanks, Karl. Straight into some betting.
Well done, Karl.
Blake, you've got $100 on part thereof round 1. I guess we're going $200 in round 1, but
well, it's a split round.
It's a split round. where is your $100 going for these 2 rounds with only 4 total betting options in front of you?
Well, my Vegas money would all be going on just the Broncos head-to-head and Rabbits -2.5 at $2.93. So that'll be where all my cash is going.
Getting?
I would have it on the unders double, but that's not up. Cody Walker anytime. There's no prices. Can I still have a little bit on that? No. Okay. Well, I would have someone Cody Walker anytime.
Well, you can if you want to, and then
You can go in blind.
well,
Yeah, I'm going
we'll take the opening price.
25 on Cody anytime, and 75 on the Roosters +4.5.
Easy. Blake, you want to go in blind with anything?
Nah, I'll just stick to it. I don't want to. I'm sticking. I'm off. I'm done.
Given him 3 chances to change his mind today. He's not having it. Searle?
The old try scorer there is really throwing me off guard because, geez, I love getting on an anytime meaty. So I'm improving here as we speak, but I've got 50 on Manly. Then I'll go 25 on Manly and the Chooks to cover the lines. And then I'll go 25 on Cody Walker and Hamoli Olakuatu anytime.
Larry, I like it. Yeah?
I'm going to put the whole 100 on unders in both games. No, I am going to put the whole 100 on though. Both teams plus the points. So Manly +2.5, Roosters +4.5. There's me 100. Multi. Yep.
Beauty. I'm going 50 on the Chooks head-to-head, 245, and 50 on the Bunnies minus into the Roosters plus at 364. That will just about do us. You got some news for the punters?
Yep.
About a tipping comp?
A tipping comp, yep. And all 5 of us will be involved in it. Blake Ayshford, Nick Tedeschi, Ben Searle, yourself, Karl, and me. A little tipping comp.
Could just be us 5.
It'll be a tight contest if it's just us 5 then. So just head to the Punters Lounge on the TAB website, and there will be a link there that'll take you straight through to the tipping comp and sign up. It's free for TAB customers.
Got to be a customer to enter?
Well, if you're not a customer, then you don't qualify for the bonus bet prizes at the end of the season. And unfortunately, neither can the 5 of us. We can't qualify for those bonus bets either. So,
I don't want to play anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Paul, go and speak to the trading colleagues, see if I could have my account back open. But no.
Oh, Christ. More chance of you getting back in the country.
Pushing the limits, guys. Pushing the limits.
So, yeah, sign up, boy. Sign up. It's going to be a hell of a season. Really looking forward to it.
That'll do us then. Blake, thank you very much for joining us, mate.
No worries, fellas. Thanks for having me. I'll see you again soon.
Searle, thank you.
Right, always a pleasure.
Teddy, it is always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us back. Hopefully, no long-term suspensions coming soon.
Thanks for making it on time today, Paul.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully, we get Blake back before the Eels can't make the 4.
He'll be back plenty of times.
Oh, good. That's good to hear.
And to you punters out there, thank you for listening, and we will see you next time on The Advantage Line.